Hey guys, I'm Tony and this is Thrift Theater, and ho ho holy shit do I have a Christmas classic for you. What's up guys? It's Christmas time, there's jingle and joy in the air, and there's elves in the VCR. That's right, this week we're gonna check out the seminal Christmas classic, the masterpiece, Elves. Dan Haggerty in Elves. That's right, Dan Haggerty, also known as Grizzly Adams. Oh, he kills it in this. I like how they put him on the front, Dan Haggerty in Elves, like he's a huge draw. Let's dive in. So really, I don't even know what to say about this movie. When I went in, I thought, okay, elves, it's going to be some sort of like Gremlins thing. There's going to be elves that are, you see on the box, there's like this little demon hand thing coming up. So I said, all right, demon elves. That's what we're working with. But, oh man, I was not expecting what came in this fucking movie at all. At all. I guess it would have paid to read the back of the box. It really would have, I don't know. I didn't know anything about this movie going in. So we open up and we're on these three girls who are performing some kind of a anti-Christmas ritual thing.
We now convene the Sisters of Anti-Christmas.
Sisters? What is this, a script?
Man, somebody thought that they wrote the wittiest line since William fucking Shakespeare with that one.
It's our symbol, the Virgin of Anti-Christmas.
Virgin? Ew.
I dream those Art Deco boobs. Cool, huh?
Art Deco boobs. So they get started and they're doing this anti-Christmas ritual thing, and they have all these candles laid out, and they have this book that she stole from her granddad, which we'll get into that. Don't worry. And it's not even that like they start the ritual and don't finish it. They don't even start it. They just sit there and then they leave, and she drops the candle or something and gashes her hand open. First of all, there's no reaction on her face at all. And then this is like a huge gash, lots of blood. I really don't think she would have cut her hand that much with this accident that happens with the candle. It just seems highly unlikely. But whatever, this is a movie about demon elves, so we'll just roll with it. But so then this happens. I know personally, every time I've ever cut my hand open, demon elves come climbing out of the hay. So, this isn't a situation that you and I haven't been in before. Come on, we've all been there. But, maybe they'll explain it, why the elf demon came out of the hay in this barn in the middle of nowhere. I mean, they say that they're like out in the woods somewhere. I don't think it's on any of their property. This is just some random place. So, I don't know. Will we find out? I highly fucking doubt it. Why is her hand wrapped up in this glitter scarf? I mean, that thing looks coarse as hell, and it looks like it has glitter all over it. Like, that's not a sanitary way to wrap up a wound, especially when you see the cut and see how huge it is. It looks like it's totally healed, even though it just happened. So she comes in and her granddad just slaps the shit out of her 2 times.
Grandpa, I was just gonna...
2 times. I'm assuming that this girl's supposed to be some sort of a teenager, but I mean, fuck, she looks like she's 40. She looks like she's the stepmother of a 30-year-old person. Whatever, man. It's the 80s. Teenagers didn't play teenagers. So, well, I guess we'll let that one ride, too.
How does this happen? It's not too bad. The bleeding has stopped. Let's wash it.
Alright, so check mark on creepy molester grandpa cliche. So we're about 10 minutes in, and then we get this.
pervert! I'm not a pervert. I like seeing naked girls.
I'm your fucking sister!
Yeah, and you've got fucking big tits, and I'm gonna tell everybody I saw them.
Get out of here! You're not supposed to be in here without my permission.
Yeah, well, fuck you. Mom says she's giving me all your money, so fuck you.
What the fuck?
What are you talking about?
It was like a little man, like a ninja, only like a gremlin.
Don't be ridiculous. You were dreaming. Oh, there's your answer. It was the cat.
It was a fucking little ninja troll.
Ninja, gremlin, fuck, Ninja Turtles, Gremlins. Let's just throw every goddamn pop culture reference from 1989 that we can right at the screen. See what sticks. You know what sticks? None of it. So I guess the elves followed her home from the barn where they came out of the hay. They used the Where's My iPhone app to track her. We get to know the mom, and she is just the worst person ever. That's a recurring thing in this movie. Everyone in this movie is the worst person ever.
Your savings account is history. I'm going to the bank tomorrow to close it out.
You can't do that. That is so totally outrageous. I earned that money. It's mine.
Not anymore.
Nice kitty. Nice kitty.
Man, if she kills this fucking cat, then I'm out. I'm out.
All right, Snow. Can you make it snow?
Oral.
What?
Santa said oral.
Those bastards. Those goddamn bastards. I'll show them. Shit!
Alright, so we get rapist, cokehead Santa cliche. Check mark. There's also this thing where he tells this kid to go buy a Nintendo in the basement.
I want a Nintendo.
Nintendo? That's great. They're on sale today in the basement. Today only. Merry Christmas.
I don't know if this is like the equivalent of like a windowless van kidnapper situation. Like, meet me in the basement, kid. I got a Nintendo for you. Because it's a small brick room, and it's a rape room. It's a rape room. So she kills the cat, and I'm not happy about that. But I'm not going to get too mad because it's so stupid and ridiculous. She drowns the cat in the toilet, and, I mean, cats have claws, and they flip out. And this thing just sits there. It's obviously just like some dirty clothes and a pillowcase that she put in the thing. So high production value. And then we see Santa Claus, who is just 80s Mickey Rourke. I mean, look, just doing coke, trying to rape chicks who work at the mall. And I'm wondering, like, how the elf got to the JCPenney. The elf is at the JCPenney. Did it follow her while she was walking to work in broad daylight, unseen? Very confused. And is the elf stabbing him? That's something through here too. It's like the elves don't have any kind of powers. They're just little tiny things who use weapons a lot. I'm pretty sure every time they kill somebody, it's with a weapon. But yeah, they kill him. They cut his fucking dick off.
Guy tries to feel you up, you slap him, words are exchanged. He's found dead a few minutes later with his nuts cut off.
You look terrible.
Yeah, well, I had a rough day at work. Santa got murdered.
Oh man, I'm just gonna say up front, this movie is full of lines that are pure gold like that. I mean, this is a hard one to talk about because every single line in this movie is gold. And I could just go through and repeat every line and go, look at this. So it's going to be difficult. but I'm gonna try my best for you guys. So anyway, we get the heartless bitch mom, worst person ever cliche. Check mark.
If you want to know, I killed the cat. The raccoon may have dragged it to the window, but I killed it.
One thing about the elf is that it kind of reminded me, like the first time I saw it when it was kind of in the dark, of the Gary Oldman bat from Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula. But as you see it as we go on, it looks nothing like that. It's just a fucking, like, do you remember they would have like rubber hand puppets that you would get from Pizza Hut for like Eureka's Castle and stuff? That's basically what this thing is. No articulation, the mouth doesn't even move, it just... So we meet Grizzly Adams, and he's desperate for money and all of this, but he has a fucking carton of cigarettes. He chain smokes through this entire movie. I don't think there's one scene with him where he's not smoking.
When there is no more room in hell, the elves will walk the earth.
So why the fuck is the granddad a Nazi? I mean, I guess it's set up here that we're supposed to feel bad for him because he's being harassed by the Nazis, but he is a Nazi, and it's already been implied that he's, like, rapey towards the 40-year-old teenager that we have, so I don't know. But we'll get to know more about the grandpa as we go on. Don't worry, you're gonna fucking love this guy. Okay, so... one more time with this. Let me just try to fucking wrap my head around this and get this straight. Did the elf, while she went to work, it traversed the land from her house to the J.C. Penney where she works in broad daylight, being unseen? I mean, is there just the one that's going back and forth between her house and the J.C. Penney? Are there two? There's one stationed at the J.C. Penney, one stationed at her house. But, oh, no time to think about that because Nazis are in the house! And watch Grizzly Adams, like, shimmy the fuck away, running from gunfire. This is fucking hilarious.
Find the gun.
So the Nazis show up, kill one of the 40-year-old teenager's friends.
Where do you come from?
Get away! Get away! We're not even supposed to be here.
The other teenager's friend is killed by an elf, once again, with a knife.
Hey, why don't you lay off of her, buddy? She's been through enough.
Oh, don't tell me she's been through a lot. What about me? What about the store? This is the busiest time of year. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, for Christ's sake. Do you think anybody's gonna shop here with bloodstains on the floor?
I'm sorry my friend's bled all over your fucking store. You want me to stay here and clean it up, asshole?
Hey, you want to hit somebody, you hit me.
Jesus Christ. Everyone in this movie is the biggest asshole ever. So, I wasn't kidding. Everywhere that Grizzly Adams goes, he has a cigarette. Library? Cigarette. Shootout? Cigarette. There's not one scene in this fucking movie where he's not seen smoking. Chain-smoking Santa Claus Grizzly Adams. The hero of this movie. Fucking hero of this movie. Top billed hero of the movie. So then we meet this librarian guy who tells us all about the elves, because apparently he's an expert on elves, and it's just common knowledge in this world that elves and Nazis are in bed together. Everyone knows that. I mean, come on, Grizzly Adams, Santa Claus, chain smoker, you didn't know that? Pfft, the fuck have you been?
Doc, do me a favor. What is the bottom line?
Well, I'm telling you, the bottom line is the little creepy things are the little creatures that creep on two legs. Idiomatically, we call them elves.
Do you think that there could be an elf cult or a sect alive today that would be crazy enough to kill people?
Oh, no. But about 50 years ago, there was a group that believed in elves that did one hell of a lot of killing. The Nazis.
The Nazis?
Mm-hmm. Why do you hate me so much? I wish you were dead and Dad was still alive.
Dad? Dad? You want to talk to Dad? Go down to the study and talk to him.
When are you saying Dad's dead?
Dad is in the study.
Grandfather is in the study.
Your father isn't dead. The man in the study is your grandfather. And your father! No!
Jesus Christ. Kid raping, incest, childbearing. So, after I finished watching this, I had to say this out loud to myself so that I can make sure that, because it sounds made up. It sounds like something you would make up to tell someone that you saw and they're like, oh, no. But no, this is something that exists in the world. So here's the story of Elves, okay? There's a group of Nazis, and Grandpa Nazi fucked his daughter at 16, who gave birth to this teenager who's 40 years old, so that she would be suitable for breeding with the elf. So the plan here is that the elf is gonna fuck his granddaughter and impregnate her with an elf. And the elf demon and her are gonna give birth to the master race who will take over the world. Okay, makes all the sense in the world. But the only person that can stop him is chain-smoking Grizzly Adams Santa Claus detective.
It was not traumatic for her at all. I would do nothing to hurt my own daughter. She was drugged and unconscious. I took no pleasure in it. It had to be. The inbreeding was planned. It was controlled. So you would be the perfect female line, a repository, a receptacle for the pure genetic information that we thought must survive, must conquer.
You're insane.
But Kirsten, I love you. You're beautiful and you're perfect and I love you.
No!
Now looking back at it, the whole I looked at my sister's tits thing makes a lot more sense now that we get to know this family.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you, Doc. I need to get some vital information from you. It's important.
How dare you burst in on me like this? It's Christmas Eve. I'm having dinner with my family.
Hey, look, I know it's Christmas Eve, and I apologize about that. This is a matter of life and death.
You know I'm a member of Neighborhood Watch.
I want to know the connection between the elves and the Nazis.
The elves were a genetic engineering experiment. Each elf was to house the haploid gene structure in its sperm cells to produce the master race. Driven to select the genetically perfect human mate, the proverbial virgin, of course, holy midnight consummation on Christmas Eve.
Wait a minute. Tonight, you mean...
The elf mates with the virgin on Christmas Eve to produce the master race, and it will eventually rule the world.
I impregnated my own daughter to produce an offspring that would be suitable to the elf.
Jesus Christ.
So now the mom has a breakdown in the bathroom and puts lipstick all over herself, and I thought that it was going to go all the way, like a Wild at Heart type situation where the mom rubs the lipstick all over her face, but we didn't get that far. But given these revelations, the mom's attitude and actions sort of make more sense. I mean, come on, this is really fucked up, and she is a total victim here. But she killed that cat, so fuck her. So he's trying to light a cigarette, and the cigarette lighter thing in the car isn't working, and he's banging on it, and out drops this bomb of sticks of dynamite. The Nazis have put dynamite in his car. Now, you would think the window's down, throw it out of the window. No. What does he do? dives out of the fucking car. Holy shit. That might be the best part of the movie. I don't know. This line right here may have topped it, though.
What are you, a goddamn Nazi or something? Is that elf yours?
Is that your fucking elf? So then the Nazis show up at the house, and we see the granddad shoot this Nazi point blank twice in the chest. He keeps coming. Then the Nazi's not dead because he kills Grizzly Adams. And so Grizzly Adams is the hero through this whole movie, and he's just dispatched like that. And his death is treated so blasé, he just falls over. That's it, he's gone.
You're not gonna win this one.
So then we get down, and the elf has a gun somehow, and he kills Mr. Head Nazi. And you see what I mean? Every time the elf kills somebody, it's either with a knife or with a gun. So what the fuck is the point of the elf? I mean, he has no powers at all. He kills the mom by pushing a goddamn radio in the bathtub. Like, it could just be some random psychopath. It could have been the young son, the Ninja Turtles, I look at your fucking tits son, dressed in a weird costume going around killing people. The fact that it's an elf is totally wasted here. So in the end, she kills the elf. She kills the elf epically, by the way. I mean, only in the 80s could you have this line. I had to back this up a couple of times to make sure I heard it right. Ah, the 80s. So she kills the elf and she wakes up in the woods, and then we see this elf baby fetus embryo, even though the elf never fucked the girl to impregnate her with the elf embryo. It's makes no sense. But then again, nothing in this fucking movie makes sense, so I guess it's a perfect ending. I don't fucking know. So I don't know, man. I don't really know what to say about this movie. It is just a total what the fuck fest. So if she hadn't have cut her hand at the beginning during this anti-Christmas sisters ritual thing, she wouldn't have bled on the hay, and the elf never would have come, and there would have been no movie. Also, like I said earlier, maybe we'll come around and find out why the elf came out of the hay. We don't. We don't find out. We find out that the grandpa fucked his daughter to give birth to her, to bring the elves, to have the elf fuck her to bring the master race. But how the elf was summoned, never explained. But why should it be? I mean, I'm really just speechless. The thing about this movie is that they were really trying to be scary. Like, they were really going for true horror movie, seasonal horror movie, and they just failed so epically. And that's what makes it worth watching, is just to see this total fucking dumpster fire of a movie. And it is amusing. Also, something with this movie is that it's called Elves, right? On the back of the box, there are two elves. An innocent romp in the woods turns into a hellish nightmare when three young girls accidentally awaken an army of evil elves, genetically created by a neo-Nazi mad scientist during World War II. Okay. A neo-Nazi mad scientist during World War II. The term neo-Nazi means people who are Nazis post-World War II. So, elves. But there's only one elf, singular. They keep talking about the army of elves. It says right here, an army of elves. There's 2 elves on the thing. Maybe that's why elves is in quotation marks, because there's only one elf. So, but it could also be because they're demons and they're not really elves. I'm not sure. So, I don't know. The world may never know. Well, that is until the 4K restoration Blu-ray special edition with the commentary track comes out. And then we probably still won't know. I don't think the people who made the movie know. So yeah, that was Elves. Have you guys ever seen it before? Let me know down in the comments if you have, and let me know what you thought of it. Because I don't even know. I don't even know what the fuck to say about this movie, really. I don't think anyone knows what to say about this movie. Alright guys, that does it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Go down and subscribe. We'll see you guys in 2K19 with bells on.
Fitzpatrick, Taft University.
Shh.